Renuka Devi is an assistant professor at the Department of Statistics, Presidency College, Chennai. Mrs. R. Renuka Devi has done her MPhil from Madras Christian College. She has 23 years of teaching experience and has published one research paper. She has also presented, participated, and organized conferences and workshops on statistics-related subjects.
Welcome to UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences. In today's session, under design of experiments, we are going to discuss about randomized block design, statistical analysis of RBD, estimation of missing value in RBD, Latin square design and its statistical analysis, estimation of missing values in LST. In previous session, I have pointed out that the experimental material will not be uniform in field experiments. Also, the fertility gradient of the soil will vary in one particular direction. To overcome this difficulty, to reduce the variability, we have a simple method called stratification or grouping. If the experimental material is stratified or grouped into relatively homogeneous strata or subgroups or blocks, and then the treatments are applied at random to relatively homogeneous units within each strata or blocks and replicated over all the blocks, then we call the design as randomized block design. By means of grouping, we can reduce the experimental error and the treatment comparisons are made more sensitive than CRD, that is completely randomized design. We can have any number of treatments and any number of replicates in randomized block design. However, if the number of treatments is large, the efficiency of error control decreases. So, here large we mean more than 20. And now we will see the layout of RBD. Let us consider 5 treatments A, B, C, D and E, each replicated 4 times. So, we divide the whole experimental area into 4 relatively homogeneous strata or blocks and each block into 5 units or plots, as we have 5 treatments. Treatments are then allocated at random to the plots of a block, a fresh randomization being done for each block. For randomization, we can use Tippett's random number table. Since here we have 5 treatments, a single digit number may be chosen from a random number table, that is Tippett's random number table, so that a number cannot be less than 0 and more than 5, as we have 5 treatments. Suppose if we have the numbers to be 1, 3, 5, 2, then the allocation will be, see here, to the first block 1, to the first plot we allocate the treatment A, and 3, next number is 3. Then to the third plot we allocate the treatment B, and 5. To the fifth plot we allocate the treatment C, and then 4. Fourth plot we allocate the treatment D, and finally to the second plot we allocate the treatment E, that is 1, 3, 5, 4, 2. And for other blocks a fresh randomization can be used for the allocation of treatments. And here we have chief advantages of RBD as accuracy, flexibility, ease of analysis. Accuracy, that is RBD has been shown to be more accurate when compared to CRD, that is completely randomized design. Flexibility, that is there is no restrictions on the number of treatments and or replicates when compared to CRD. And ease of analysis, that is the statistical analysis of RBD is simple, rapid and straightforward. And we have also disadvantages. RBD may give misleading results if blocks are not homogeneous. So, that is why we do stratification or grouping as a first step, and RBD is not suitable for large number of treatments. If the data on more than 1-2 plots is missing, then the analysis becomes complicated and cumbersome. And here we have a statistical analysis of RBD. First we will consider the linear model for randomized block design, assuming the various effects to be additive nature, and the linear model is defined as Yij, which is equal to mu plus tau I plus Bj plus epsilon Ij. Here I ranges from 1 to t, that is since we have t treatments and each treatment being replicated r times. So, we have j is equal to 1, 2 up to r, and here Yij is nothing but the response or the yield of the experimental unit receiving the ith treatment in the jth block. Mu is defined as the general mean effect. Also, tau I is the effect due to the ith treatment, and Bj is defined as the effect due to the jth block or replicate, and here epsilon Ij are assumed to be identically independently distributed normal variates with mean 0 and variance sigma e squared, and here the constants mu, tau i's and Bj's are based on the condition that summation tau I is equal to 0 and summation Bj is equal to 0. And now let us estimate the parameters. Parameters here tau I, Bj, we estimate the parameters mu, tau I, Bj as least square estimates. So, the least square estimates of parameters mu, tau I and Bj are obtained on minimizing the error sum of squares, which is given by E is equal to double summation epsilon Ij squared, where epsilon Ij squared is nothing but Yij minus mu minus tau I minus Bj the whole square. This is obtained from the linear model Yij is equal to mu plus tau I plus Bj plus epsilon Ij. So, taking these three terms, that is mu, tau I, Bj to the left hand side and squaring, taking summation, we get E to be double summation Yij minus mu minus tau I minus Bj the whole square. And let us partition the total sum of squares present in the data under this RBD. So, it is partitioned as TSS is equal to SST plus SSB plus SSE, where TSS is nothing but total sum of squares and SST nothing but sum of squares due to treatments, SSB is sum of squares due to blocks, and SSE is nothing but sum of squares due to error. This could be written also as ST squared. So, S capital T squared for total sum of square is equal to S small t squared for treatment sum of squared plus SB squared for blocks and plus SE squared for error. And to carry out the analysis, we frame the null hypothesis against alternative hypothesis. So, here null hypothesis are the various treatments are homogeneous and the various blocks are homogeneous. In other words, tau 1, tau 2 and so on, tau t are equivalent, and beta B1, B2 up to beta r, that is r blocks are the effects due to the r blocks is homogeneous. And against the alternative hypothesis that tau 1 is not equal to tau 2 is not equal to and so on tau t, and also B1 is not equal to B2 is not equal to and so on up to Br. Degrees of freedom for various sum of squares. Now, the total sum of squares is computed based on the n quantities. This will have n minus 1 degrees of freedom as we have n observations, and 1 degree of freedom is being lost because of one linear condition, and for treatment sum of squares we have t minus 1 degrees of freedom. Block sum of squares and error sum of squares will carry b minus 1 and t minus 1 into b minus 1 degrees of freedom respectively. Next, mean sum of squares. The various mean sum of squares due to each of independent factors are obtained by dividing the sum of squares by its respective degrees of freedom. For example, so here mean sum of squares due to treatments. So, this is obtained by dividing the treatment sum of squares by its respective degrees of freedom, that is t minus 1, which is denoted by the small letters small s t the whole squared. Similarly, we can obtain mean sum of squares due to blocks, and the test statistic under H naught, that is to test whether the blocks are homogeneous or the treatments are homogeneous, we have the test statistic as Ft, which is equal to mean sum of squares due to treatments divided by mean sum of squares due to error, and it follows F distribution with t minus 1 comma t minus 1 and r minus 1 degrees of freedom. And to test the homogeneity of blocks, we have the test statistic as FB, which is defined as SB squared divided by SE squared, and it follows again F distribution with r minus 1 and t minus 1 r minus 1 degrees of freedom. So, these are the calculated values left hand sides, and right hand side F values are nothing but the table values. So, by comparing these calculated values with the tabulated value of F for respective degrees of freedom and at certain level of significance. So, this level of significance could be 5%, either 5% or 1%. The null hypothesis of the homogeneity of treatments and blocks may be accepted or rejected. That is, if the calculated value is less than the table value, H naught may be accepted, otherwise rejected. And the entire analysis can be summarized in the form of table called ANOVA table, and here this table consists of 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, and the first column representing the sources of variation, the second column gives degrees of freedom for the different sources of variation, and then we have sum of squares, mean sum of squares, and finally variance ratio. So, sources of variation here we have due to treatments, blocks, or could be replicates, and then error, and finally summing up these three will give you the total sum of squares. As we have T treatments replicated R times, the total number of units will be RT or capital N. So, total degrees of freedom will be N minus 1 or RT minus 1, and T minus 1 for treatment sum of squares, and for blocks it is R minus 1, and for error it is T minus 1 into R minus 1. And as I have mentioned earlier, sum of squares is written, and mean sum of squares, as I have mentioned, obtained by dividing this sum of squares by their respective degrees of freedom, and finally F ratio. Let us see the analysis of RBD with missing value. So, we will consider the case with one observation, that is one missing observation. Let us suppose that the one value missing be Yij, that is denoted as X. So, Yij in the jth block receiving the ith treatment. So, I can give you the layout of RBD with J blocks and R treatments. So, here 1, 2, J, R. So, we have R blocks, and here we have treatments 1, 2, I up to Tth treatment. So, the first yield will be denoted by Y11, Y12 and so on, Y1J, Y1R, and here Y21, Y22, Y2J up to Y2R, and Yi1, Yi2, Yij, and we assume that this observation is missing and it is taken as X. This is Yir, and Tth treatment we have Yt1, Yt2 and Ytj up to Ytr or Yrt, and total for each of the treatments we have Y1 dot, Y2 dot, and since this observation is not known, is missing, and this total we can write it as Yi dot dash plus, and missing observation since we assumed it at X. So, this is Yi dot plus X, and for the Tth row the total is Yt dot, and the grand total would be Y double dot bar plus X. So, in the table Yi dot dash is nothing but the total of known observations getting ith treatment, and Y dot j dash is the total of known observations in the jth block, and Y double dot dash is the total of all the known observations Here we shall choose the unknown value such that the error sum of squares is E is minimum, and it is found to be x is equal to r y dot j dash plus t y I dot dash plus y double dot bar divided by r minus 1 into t minus 1. And let us now consider the case where two observations are missing. So, the two missing observations, we assume that x and y, the missing observations are x and y. So, we have R1, R2 and C1, C2, where R1 is the sum of the rows where one first observation x is missing, R2 is the sum of the row where the observation y is missing. So, in the situation when two observations are missing, we shall choose x and y such that the error sum of squares E is minimum. For E to be minimum for variations in x and y, we obtain the two equations as r minus 1 into t minus 1 x is equal to small r into r1 plus small t into c1 minus s minus y, where s is nothing but total of all the known observations and r1 is nothing but the total of the row where the first observation is missing. And the next equation is r minus 1 into t minus 1 y is equal to small r into r2 plus t into c2 minus s minus x. Solving these two simultaneous equations, we get the estimates of x and y. And statistical analysis for missing plot. ANOVA is performed in the usual way after substituting the estimated values of the missing observations. For each missing observation, 1 degree of freedom is subtracted. So, that is the only difference. If one observation is missing, we have to subtract 1 degree of freedom from the total and the treatment as well. If the two observations are missing, we have to subtract 2 degrees of freedom from the total and consequently from the error degrees of freedom. The adjusted sum of squares is obtained by subtracting the adjustment factor, which is given by y dot j dash plus t into y dot dash minus y double dot dash the whole square divided by t into t minus 1 into r minus 1 the whole squared from the treatment sum of squares. Next design we are going to see is Latin square design, and this design is useful in eliminating fertility variation, consists in an experimental layout, and it also controls variation in two perpendicular directions. So, this is particularly useful in agricultural experiments. And here we have the layout of the design. In this design, the number of treatments is equal to the number of replications. So, if we have m treatments, there have to be m cross m, which is equal to m squared experimental units. The whole of experimental area is divided into m squared plots arranged in a square, so that each row as well as each column contains m plots. And the layout of the Latin square design, the m treatments allocated at random to these rows and columns in such a way that every treatment occurs once and only once in each row and each column. So, there can be many arrangement as possible as we could have in m cross m Latin square design. And we have a standard Latin square, a Latin square in which the treatments, say for example A, B, C etc. occur in the first row and the first column in the alphabetical order, then we call it as a standard Latin squared design. For example, in case of 2 cross 2 and 3 cross 3 Latin squared, we have only one standard square. So, that is here A, B and B, A. So, in 2 cross 2 we have 2 treatments. So, we have 2 rows and 2 columns. So, the arrangement is like this: A, B first row alphabetical order and first column also alphabetical order. So, this is a standard design. And for 3 cross 3 we have 3 treatments and 3 rows 3 columns. So, first row we have alphabetical order A, B, C, and first column we have A, B, C. So, for 3 cross 3 and 2 cross 2 we have only one standard Latin square design. And suppose for 4 cross 4 Latin square design, we have the 4 standard squares are possible. So, this is the possible arrangement of the treatment. So, we could see in all these standard squares, the first row and the first column, the treatments are arranged in an alphabetical order. And let us see the advantages of Latin square design. So, with two-way grouping, LSD controls more of the variations than CRD or RBD, and this analysis is simple but slightly complicated when compared to RBD, and more than one factor can be investigated simultaneously with a fewer trials than more complicated design. We also have some disadvantages using this Latin square design. So, the fundamental assumption here is that there is no interaction between the factors, which is actually not possible, which may not be true in general. And the second disadvantage is the number of treatments is restricted to the number of replications, and this limits its field application. So, at this point we could emphasize that when we increase the replicates or treatments, so as many rows and columns we may be having. So, the analysis could be more complicated, and it is suitable for the number of treatments between 5 and 10, and more than 10 to 12 the design is seldom used. In case of missing plot, when several units are missing, the statistical analysis becomes quite complex. Now, we will see the statistical analysis of LSD. So, here Yijk, so triplet Ijk ranges from 1 to m, denote the response from the unit in the ith row and jth column and receiving the kth treatment. So, the linear model assumed under LSD is Yijk is equal to mu plus alpha I plus beta j plus tau k plus epsilon ijk, and this model is additive nature, and the triplets I j k belongs to S, because the triplet I j k can assume only m squared values out of the possible m cube values, and this S is nothing but the set of all m squared values. So, we write I j k belongs to S. So, here mu is nothing but the constant mean effect, and alpha I, beta j and tau k are the constant effects due to the ith row, jth column and kth treatment respectively. As usual, epsilon ijk is the error component, which is assumed to be normal and with mean 0 and variance sigma squared. And let us have the statistical analysis of LSD. First, we will find the least square estimates of the parameters mu, alpha I, beta j by tau k, as usual by minimizing the error sum of squares. So, here the error sum of squares is summation the triplet I j k belongs to S, epsilon I j k the whole squared. As I pointed out earlier, this epsilon I j k squared is obtained from the model that we have assumed. So, it is summation over I j k belongs to S of Yijk minus mu minus alpha I minus beta j minus tau k the whole square. And the total variations in the present data, that is total sum of squares, is partitioned as total sum of squares is equal to sum of squares due to rows, sum of squares due to columns, sum of squares due to treatments and sum of squares due to errors. And to carry out the analysis, we frame the null hypothesis against a set of alternative hypotheses. Null hypothesis, here we have 3 null hypotheses, one for treatments, blocks and treatments, rows and columns. So, for rows, the null hypothesis is alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2 up to alpha m, that is the variation due to rows is not significant, and for columns it is beta 1 is equal to beta 2 up to beta m, that is the variation due to columns is not significant, and for treatments we have tau 1 is equal to tau 2 up to tau m, where the variations due to treatments is not significant. And alternative hypothesis, for row effects, the alternative hypothesis is stated as at least 2 alpha i's are different. For column effects, at least 2 beta j's are different, and for treatment effects, at least 2 tau i's are different. and the degrees of freedom for various sum of squares is obtained as follows. So, for total sum of squares we will have m squared minus 1 degrees of freedom, as we have m squared plots or observations, and similarly row sum of squares, column sum of squares and treatment sum of squares will carry m minus 1 degrees of freedom each, and error sum of squares will have m minus 1 into m minus 2 degrees of freedom. So, this is because number of treatments is equal to number of rows is equal to number of columns. These three will have the same degrees of freedom, that is m minus 1. And mean sum of squares is obtained by dividing the sum of squares by its respective degrees of freedom. So, since we have rows, columns and treatments, also error, we have mean sum of squares due to rows, which is denoted by small letter small s r squared, and due to columns it is small s e square, and due to treatments it is small s t squared, and for error we have small s e squared. For error, degrees of freedom is m minus 1 into m minus 2. So, the sum of squares due to error divided by m minus 1 into m minus 2 is equal to the mean sum of squares due to error. And to test the null hypothesis, we have the test statistic defined as f r is equal to the mean sum of squares due to rows divided by mean sum of squares due to error, and it follows f distribution with m minus 1 and m minus 1 into m minus 2 degrees of freedom. Also for columns we have s e squared by s e squared, and it follows again the f distribution with m minus 1 and m minus 1 into m minus 2 degrees of freedom, and f t is also given. By comparing the calculated values with the table values of f with respective degrees of freedom and at a certain level of significance, this as I mentioned could be 5% or 1%, the null hypothesis may be accepted or rejected, and the entire analysis is given in the form of table called ANOVA table, as in the case of RBD. So, here it is consists of 5 columns: sources of variation, degrees of freedom, sum of squares, mean sum of squares and variance ratio. And now we will analyze the LSD with missing values. Let us suppose that in m cross m Latin squared, the observation occurring in the ith row and jth column receiving the kth treatment is missing. Let it be x, that is yijkb is equal to x, and r is equal to total number of observations in the ith row, and c is taken as the total of known observations in the jth column, and t is equal to total of known observations receiving the kth treatment, and s is the total of all known observations. So, here we choose x, the missing value, so as to minimize the error sum of squares, such that x cap is equal to m into r plus c plus t minus 2s divided by m minus 1 into m minus 2. And accordingly, the statistical analysis is there is a slight change in the statistical analysis of LSD. After inserting the estimated value for missing observation, we subtract 1 degree of freedom from the total sum of squares and consequently from the error sum of squares, and also we have to adjust the treatment sum of squares by subtracting the quantity m minus 1 into t plus r plus c minus s the whole squared divided by m minus 1 into m minus 2 the whole squared. And let us summarize our discussion. Randomized block design. Under randomized block design, we have discussed the advantages and disadvantages, the linear model, the statistical analysis of randomized block design, also with 1 missing value and 2 missing values. And also under Latin square design, we discussed the advantages and disadvantages, linear model, and we did the statistical analysis of Latin square design, also the analysis with missing value in Latin square design. Based on our discussion, these are the possible questions. What is meant by RBD? Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of RBD. Give the statistical analysis of RBD. What is Latin square design? Under what conditions LSD can be used? Discuss briefly the advantages and disadvantages of LSD and give the layout and analysis of LSD. Thank you for listening to the UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences.